Hi everyone! In today's video, I am going to be sharing with you how I managed to get my collection at New York Bridal Week for under $1,000. Yes, you heard me right, and trust me when I say I totally was thinking outside the box, because as like you, as a designer, I couldn't afford to pay this premium, crazy prices to do a trade show, so I had to be creative. Hi everyone, my name is Caroline. I want to welcome you to my channel. I'm a multi-award winning fashion and bridal designer and also the founder of the Luxe Collective. This channel is all about helping designers and creatives build an epic, stylish, personal brand and business that they have dreamt about and longed for, which I guess pretty much like I did for a really, really long time. I want to give you the lowdown on what it takes to build your creative empire and share with you the lessons that I have learned so you don't make them and you get to have a successful fashion business. The inspiration for this video is to show you that anything is possible. New York Bridal Week is possible. New York Fashion Week is possible. I want you to know that you don't need to limit yourself because you don't have the big bucks. The big bucks will come eventually, or everything will come eventually, but you just gotta be creative and get out there and do the best that you can to be in the places that you want to be. So I hope you love this video, and if you do, then I would love it if you could give me a massive thumbs up and comment below. Let me know what you think. And if you've enjoyed this video and if you're new to my channel, I would be super grateful if you could subscribe and join the tribe so you don't miss an episode all about fashion and business. So what we're going to start with is I really want to talk about, not letting blocks get in the way. As I said in the beginning of this video, it's super important that if you have a dream or an ambition, that you do not let shit get in the way. For me, I knew that I wanted to showcase at New York Bridal Week. I had dreamt about it. I'd had it drilled into me by tons of people that the only way that I was going to be successful was if I showed at trade shows. But equally, at that time, I knew that I didn't have the money to do this, because when I looked into these trade shows, the one that I really wanted to do was going to cost, I think, in total about £6,000. That wasn't including my flight. That wasn't including my accommodation. So as you can imagine, it was going to end up being a pretty expensive thing, and I couldn't do it. So I had to start getting creative and thinking about other ways that I could get there. And one of the main things that I started to do, this might sound a little kind of crazy to you, but I just took it upon myself to say, right, I'm doing it. Every morning I used to take the dog for a walk, and I would be like, oh my God, it's only 8 weeks. I'm going to be showcasing at New York Bridal Week. And I just put it out there that I was going to be showcasing there. I didn't know how I was going to do it. I didn't know how I was going to make the money to do it. I didn't know if I was going to be able to get any appointments. I just put it out there with the intention that I already had a plane ticket and that everything was planned and done, and I was going. And this is a really important thing to do, because so often, especially as designers and creatives, we get so panicky and struggle and think, oh my God, well, I can't do that because I don't have the money, but I need to be there and I need to show my collection at this. So I want you to, first of all, just relax and just put it out there and say, right, okay, I'm doing it. I'm there. I'm going to be there in October, and I'm going to be showing my shit, and I'm going to be having a good time, and I'm going to be getting all of these boutiques and orders. Number one, that is the key thing, is mindset. You've got to have an amazing mindset, and trust me when I say it does take time. I have been on that depth of mindset path where I do not believe in myself, I do not believe in my product, but it's super important that you try and just start with the mindset. So that was the first thing that I did. I just told myself I was going. I was like, right, I'm going. I can't wait. Oh my God, so exciting. I can go at the Empire State Building. I can have a bit of a travel around. So that was number one. The second thing that I did was I listed I listed all of the dream boutiques that I wanted to show in. Now, if you're watching this and you're a designer, you're pretty much going to be like me, where you have a list of amazing boutiques that you have dreamt about being, showcased in. They could be boutiques. My list spans the UK, Australia, America, Hong Kong, India, Asia. Like, I have boutiques all over the world that I dream of being in. I have them on a big Excel spreadsheet, and every day I'm just like, oh my God, how amazing, the collection will be in there. So list your dream boutiques. Do not limit yourself to these boutiques. Do not think, oh my God, well, I can't get in there. Forget about that. Right now, we're just focusing on listing the dream boutiques. And the next thing that we want to do is we want to get the names of the buyers. Now, I hear you going, but that's not as easy as that, Caroline. I know it's not as easy as that because I have been there myself. But if we can't get the buyers' names, what do? We get the store managers' names. We start with the store managers' names and develop a bit of a relationship with them. And the reason why I say this is because as new designers, we obviously don't have a big personal brand or a big brand because, number one, we maybe feel that we can't afford it because we're spending a lot of our money on fabrics and production and all of the rest of the shebang that goes with being a designer. So this kind of element of it gets left out. So we start with the list of the dream boutiques. Just do an Excel spreadsheet. Doesn't have to be anything fancy. Excel spreadsheet, get the names of the buyers or at least the managers of the boutiques and contact them. Now, a really good thing that I did when I first started, God, I shouldn't be saying this, but when I first started, I had an alter ego and she was called Emmy. Emmy would be my virtual assistant because I couldn't pay anybody. And she used to be emailing boutiques. Obviously it was me, hush hush, but Emmy was there and she would contact boutiques on behalf of our bridal label and introduce the label and say that she was the sales and marketing manager of our brand and how we would love to connect with the brand and showcase our collection to them. And I have to say, this actually worked really, really well for me. When I first started to contact boutiques, I used to just say it was myself. I'm Caroline Matthews. I'm the designer behind Caroline Atelier. I'd love to connect with you. And 9 times out of 10, I would hear crickets. I would hear nothing at all. So I decided to change it and become a person with a company. So Emmy was my girl. She was awesome. And I used to email across our lookbook, more about how to create a lookbook later, email across our lookbook, email across all the prices. And I used to set out, and I still do this now, like I got really clear on what my vibe was and my mission was for my brand. And I did a video. I added a video to the email, and what this did was it allowed that kind of personal relationship. And when I started to do that and I started to talk about why I was a designer, why I started the bridal label, what my vibe was, what my mission was, what I wanted to see women wearing and why it was really important to me, that I got so much more traction with that. So I really invite you to do that. When you have wrote your list out, just get really, really creative with this, because honestly, if you can put yourself in front of these buyers online, organically, they get to know who you are, and I guarantee you'll be so much more likely to book in those appointments. And it also lets your personality shine through. I mean, who doesn't want to see someone's personality behind a brand? I do. I'm sure everybody wants to know who you are as a badass designer. The other thing that I did to keep my costs down was I made my own digital lookbook. Now, there are so many ways that you can do this online for free, everyone. One of the big things I used was Canva. I'm sure you all know about Canva. If not, I will leave the link below. And I had obviously all of my images from the shoots that I'd done. I collaborate them all together, put my line sheets in there, so all of the prices for my products. And I created this digitally, saved it onto my laptop, and then I just went to my local printers and I didn't go crazy. I was just like, right, I'll just print off 20, because I wasn't sure of how many appointments I was going to get. So I just thought 20 will be great. I can use them again. And this cost me something like 100 quid. It wasn't really, really expensive. And it was actually really nice to see the collection in a really nice professional looking lookbook that I had created. You know, this is what this is all about. It's about being creative and stepping outside of your comfort zone and realizing that you can do all of this by yourself in the beginning. Because this is what it takes. You know, we've got to hustle, we've got to be creative, we've got to try to do new things and think of new ways of doing things to get our brand in front of the right people so we can get all of these appointments booked and then just love being in all of these places. So the other thing that I did was I stopped being afraid to ask. Now, I had this lookbook, obviously this lookbook, I had this list of buyers, I had emailed them, I was waiting for them all to come back to me, and then I just thought, well, crap, I haven't got anywhere to stay. And I was in my Facebook group, I think, I might have just put it on my personal page, and I just put it out there and just said, does anybody know of any cheap accommodation in New York? I'm coming there. Notice I said I'm coming. I'm coming there in October and I really need somewhere cheap to stay. I'm going to be at New York Bridal Week. Does anybody have any tips of places to stay? And I just let it go. I forgot about it. And I swear to God, this is just crazy. A girl that I had met online, a fellow designer, Augustina, she emailed me back and she said, girl, you can stay with me. And I was like, are you sure? We had never met. Virtually we had met, but we hadn't met in person. And she was like, listen, I think it's so amazing that you do New York Bridal Week. You can come and stay with me. I don't live actually in the city, but if you're okay to travel and, you know, get like a train and whatever, you can stay with me for the whole time that you're here. I mean, how amazing is that? So by now, I had created my own lookbooks for about £100 in total. I had managed to, thank God, find accommodation, which was free. And I'd also kind of listed my dream boutiques. I had done my own videos. I recorded them on my phone, which cost me nothing, and edited them on iMovie. So far I'd spent like £100 and I had all of these amazing, amazing things. Now that is truly epic. And you know, I don't think that will happen for everybody, but this is the power of just not being afraid to ask and just putting it out there, because once you commit to something, I honestly do believe that everything starts to move forward in the right direction for you, and it will. And, you know, prime example of getting the most amazing, amazing accommodation. The next thing that I wanted to chat to you about was breather rooms. Now, if you have not come across breather rooms, where have you been? I have to say they came into my life a few years ago, and they are incredible. Obviously, at this point, I knew I was going in my head. And I was like, right, okay, well, where am I going to show? Because the trade show that I actually wanted to showcase at was in the meatpacking district. So I thought, well, where am I going to do it? I looked at hotels around the trade show that were not going to be too far for buyers to travel, but they were all so expensive. Because originally I thought, well, if I get a hotel space, I can stay there and also meet with buyers. But because of the lovely Augustina who gave me free accommodation, I was like, right, okay, I've got to find somewhere to showcase this bridal collection. And a friend of mine at the time mentioned breather rooms. They have breather rooms all over the world and they're freaking amazing. And I went on to breatherrooms.com and I was just like Googling away, and I found the most amazing room on the 4th floor of a block, 10 minutes from the meatpacking district, and it cost me $85 for the day. Now in this room, it was exactly what I was looking for. Very minimalist. It just had 2 white sofas, a white table, bottles of water, really amazing lighting. And I just thought, man, I can just decorate this myself. It was absolutely fine. And that money was for the entire day. And it was like security access as well. So you had to put a PIN code in to get into the building. Now this is amazing. By this point, I was getting so excited. So excited, because I was like, oh my God, I've now got a place to showcase my collection. I've got accommodation. I've got lookbooks. By this point, I had also secured 4 bridal appointments. Yes, you heard me right. 4 bridal appointments I managed to secure. One was with a Canadian bridal company, Two was with the US, and one was with the UK. So I was really buzzing at this point and realised that I'd actually spent about like 250 quid at this point, which is truly, truly, truly epic. If you haven't checked out Breather Rooms and you are looking to maybe, showcase your collection or just do a little private event, please do check them out because they're amazing. And to me, they're really supportive of, creatives and young designers like you who just want to get their foot on the ladder. And this is what I'm here to do, share all of this knowledge and little tricks and picks that I've picked up along the way that have helped me to get my label out there, get my brand out there. And so Breather Rooms, check them out. One thing I do want to kind of mention is before I went to New York, I hadn't actually officially confirmed any bridal appointments. Right up until I was actually on the plane, I had one appointment confirmed. The other 3 appointments confirmed actually by the time I'd gotten over to New York. So I had this Breather Room, a collection, and really no idea whether anyone was actually going to show up. Because, New York Bridal Week is crazy. All the buyers are rushing around, going to here, there, and everywhere. But I had faith, and I just thought, you know what? If nobody turns up, then I will just use that room for the day. I will do social media stuff, I'll do videos, and I'll just make it look like it's my own little New York style studio and just do it that way. Nothing is a loss. Everything is all about gaining more knowledge, more experience. So to me, it was a win-win. It was really, really win-win. So I get to New York. By the way, I managed to find a very late last-minute flight, which cost me £400. I had to do a few extra stopovers to get the cheap flight, but sure, look, we have to do what we have to do. So cost update. Right now, I have spent £500 on travel, $80, $85 on a Breather Room, £120 on my lookbooks. Obviously, marketing I had done free because I'd done my own videos, I'd done my own social media. So I get to New York, and the next thing I need to do is to accessorize my little Breather Room. So off I went to Target because I couldn't afford to bring my own clothes rail. So I was like, shit, what am I going to do? I went to Target. And bought a really, really nice chrome rail for $20. I'm sorry, Target. And I had a couple of candles, and then I used them on the day, and then I packed them back up, took them back, and got my money back. I feel so bad kind of saying that. But yes, that is what I did. And, we have to do these kind of things. We have to hustle. And if we can't afford things, then we have to try and make them happen. And it was my friend who was like, go to Target, get yourself a clothes rail and get some nice smelly candles, and off you go. So that is what I did. So that is really how I got to New York Bridal Week on $1,000. I hustled. I did most of it by myself. I got the boutiques appointments, I got the Breather Room, and the outcome of this, if I had have done the trade show, then all up I would have probably spent about kind of £7,000. Now to me and to you, that is a new bridal collection. That is fabric, that is production, that is everything that we really, really need. So this video is to really show you like the art of being you and the art of hustling, and why buyers want to see the real you. Like the feedback that I got from the buyers was amazing. They loved the fact that I had thought outside the box, that I had my own Breather Room, and that buyers didn't have to rush, they didn't feel stressed, and also they got to meet the actual designer. A lot of times you go to trade shows, you don't always meet the actual designer, you either meet a sales manager. So for me, it was really, really, really important that I put as much of me into my brand, into my collection, and into my experience as I possibly could. And that, for me, was the start of success. And I know now that I probably would never do another trade show again. I would way more do these, get my own Breather Rooms, maybe get a bigger one the next time, and like collaborate with a couple of designers, maybe an accessories designer, a footwear designer, and do it as a collaboration. It's not about competition, it's about empowering each other and growing our brands. And this video, I hope, has inspired you to, if you're sat there thinking, I want to do New York Bridal Week, but I can't afford it, I don't have the money. Honestly, trust me when I say there are so many ways that you can do this. You can really get to New York Bridal Week, you can showcase your bridal, you can hopefully get some stockists on board and do it in a way that is you. And that is what this channel is about. It's all about being you and showing you how to create a fashion brand a bit on a budget when we're all starting off, because I have been there for many years and I want to create this channel to show you that anything is possible. So I hope you enjoyed my first video on my new channel. I want you to know that it doesn't matter how scary your dream is or how unobtainable you think it is, there is always a way, and I hope this video is a reminder of that for you. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe and give me a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next video. Big love and good vibes.